Hi everybody, this is the website boy again with tutorial number 19. And today I'm going to be showing you how to extract certain values that the user will actually type in the website or whatever application you are building. And we are also going to make those values something else. And we are also going to be checking against something that they type in whatever application that you are building. They're going to be typing something. We're going to check on those values and make sure that they are what we want them to be. So anyway, this is going to be a very exciting tutorial. It's going to be very short and very sweet, but you're going to learn a lot and you're going to be able to do a lot with it. So let's go ahead. All right, for those of you that want to do everything like me, this is how you do it. I have some buttons there that I included in each video. You can click next to go to the next video, previous to go to the previous. You can also subscribe, and I really recommend that if you have not subscribed to my videos or channel, because every time I upload one of my videos, you will get an email automatically, but that would be only if you are subscribed. So make sure you do that. All right, for those of you out there that want to do everything like me, I understand. All right, and this is how I do it. I got a co-editor called Sublime Text, which is a pretty cool editor, and I recommend it to a lot of people. And I also have the Emmet plugin, which allows me to write code really fast. All right, I also recommend that. Or you can just use any co-editor. It really doesn't matter. You can use whatever you want. For those of you out there looking for something free, Notepad++ is free for Windows. Text Wrangler is free for Mac users out there. And again, you don't need these specific editors to actually follow along. You can follow along with any co-editor you have, okay? For those of you out there that see this thumbs up, this is a like. And if you like my videos, I really appreciate them. If you take the time, if you really do like them, you can click this thumbs up. And that will help me out, get more motivated, and make more great videos for you, right? For those of you out there that want to download my exercise files, this is how you do it. Go to the websiteboy.com/snippets. You can also watch the videos there for free, all right? For those of you that are restricted, that YouTube for some reason is not available in your country and you have to kind of bypass it using proxies and things like that, you can watch my videos there for free, all right? And without restrictions. So that's a cool function there. For those of you out there that like my video all the time and, are my faithful subscribers, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You guys are the world to me. So let's go ahead and let's continue with the tutorial. All right, so in this tutorial, we are going to be building another small application. And the first part of the application, well, this is going to be two very small applications here, right? One smaller than the other. The last one is going to be smaller. So what we want to do is, let's say, for example, I want the user to input a month, and then I want to grab the first three letters of that month, and based on the letter, actually I want to grab the first three letters. Based on the word, I want to grab the first three letters and display it on the screen. Okay, so how do we do that? All right, so we are going to be making a we're going to grab the user's input, right? And then we're going to be saying something like enter month, right? And I'm just going to put this in, enter month. Once we get that, we grab the length. All right, so month length, okay, and this would be in month dot th, right? So this, we use a function to do that, all right, with a dot right here to concatenate, not concatenate, but to actually append that function to this variable. All right, so now that we have that, all we have to do is actually make an if statement, right? And the if statement is going to say if month length is actually bigger than 3, then I want you to slice some of this stuff out, to slice the month variable, 3 words, starting from 0, 3 words, and save it on another variable that's going to be called month abbreviation, right? So now the 3 words are in here in this variable, and what I want to do with it is I want to display it out. And now if we go and save it here and write November, and I press enter, you see that I actually stripped those three words out and display it on the screen. So another recap here, basically, we are actually using a prompt function to get the user's input, and the user's input is gonna go into this variable. It doesn't matter what user's input, what they type on the field, right? On the input field, it doesn't really matter. We are grabbing the first three out. So now that we have the word, we are actually finding out the length of it by using this function dot length. Once we find the length, we are running an if statement to check to see if the length is actually bigger. That's what this greater than sign is. Bigger than 3. If it is bigger than 3, then we are slicing the first 3 out. And we do this with this function. We're slicing the first 3 of the user's input out, starting from 0 and the 3, right? And then once we have those 3 letters, then we are actually displaying it. So that was a pretty simple one, all right? So now let's do the other one. Let's go ahead and do the loop. So let's comment all this out here. And let's also write another prompt functions here. Built-in function, by the way. You know that. Enter some text. All right. So we are going to ask the user enter some text, and we are going to grab that in here. And then we are going to be making a variable called num chars for number of characters, and then we're gonna find out the length like we did to the other one, right? And then now the difference is now that we are going to be using a loop, right? So let's use a loop, a for loop, to iterate through those through the length, right? So we're going to be writing a variable. We're going to initialize it, right, with 0, and then we are going to use the I to kind of set that limiter there. We're gonna be going through that number of characters. Let's increment this. If you don't know about loops, you need to go back to the loop tutorials and find out how to do them and what they really mean. I'm guessing you already know this, so that's why I'm not explaining what a loop is. All right, so now we need to actually make a condition, right? We need to say something like if the user's input is has double spaces, then we are going to display something. And now, by the way, this function is gonna check the user's input for double spaces. So if they type in a box double spaces, we're gonna say double spaces are not allowed or something like that, right? So if, right, we're gonna base this condition. So what is the next one? All right, so if what? If the user's input, which is str, and then we slice it because we need to slice some of this out, right? And we need to include that kind of counter in there, right? If that is actually, and we're gonna go by segments of 2, so we're gonna be checking 2 at the same time. Instead of checking 1 character, we're gonna be checking 2 characters. So segments of 2. That's what we're gonna be checking. All right. So how do we actually do that? Right now it's going through each character, right? So we actually use a plus 2, right? So segments of 2, all right? So if the segments of 2, right, when we are looping through like this, boom, going by 2, if the segments of 2 we find a space like this, then we're going to be doing something, right? So if the user's input equals space, right, then we are going to let's write 2 spaces, 1 and 2, right? If it actually, we don't need to do that, just write it once because we are doing the segments of 2 here, right? And we are going to be displaying something, right? So we are going to be displaying alert, not double spaces. All right, and then we're gonna put a break here because we want to break out of that loop. And let's go here and refresh that. Let's see what happens. So enter some text. I'm gonna say, hey, how are you? And if I click enter, that doesn't do anything. The reason is because I didn't type double spaces. Let's refresh it and let's do it again. Hey, how are you? And then I type two spaces, enter. And now I get an alert. No double spaces, please. You see that? So this is how you make a small function in JavaScript to check double spaces, and this is how you can strip out a user's input and display it on the screen depending on the condition. Anyways, if you like the video, like it please, and share it with your friends. Comment about it. Give me some feedback. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.